Does this call as a no call, no show for Colson?
He texted. That's how
He
the kids do
texted.
it these days.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we can still write him up.
sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for sure, this is going in his file. You know?
Yeah. Volume 3 is opening up here soon on his file.
Volume 3. I think this is the third filing cabinet we have.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We had,
It's cabinet.
we got to rent
cabinet
a
3,
storage
volume
locker,
3.
you know, just to keep the archived
Yeah.
files.
Where all the Patreon money goes is to
Yep.
document storage.
Yeah, so just prepare to.
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
I got my sweet jerk. I put some strings on.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler.
Just prepare to. Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You were listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is November 19th, 2023, and this is episode 670. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and season ticket holder in the past. This show, we're going to discuss a 1-in-1 week of Pacers basketball with games against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Orlando Magic. Joining me this show are two of our three analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jamison Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the Doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to my son, Ethan, who is celebrating his 3rd birthday tomorrow. Today, as this show comes out. Yeah, had a big party today. It was very successful. One of 4 birthday parties attended over the week. I made it to 3. Jill made all 4. Too many 3 to 5-year-olds.
Those weren't all for him.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
apparently everybody in his class has a birthday
Sure.
in the same week somehow. So
Nice.
yeah, but a good time was had by all. We had good weather, and Ethan covered his face in blue frosting. So that's
Perfect.
The mark of a good
exactly
day.
what he should do. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Full Smurf.
Shout out. And from Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Shout out the bartender. Miss you, buddy. I assume after watching the Magic game, you broke and are crying in a corner somewhere. Promise it's going to be okay.
Yeah, no, with all the there were good odds on that. You know, we get the odds for everything these days, and it was a lock. Well, before we get into the rest of the show, we'd like to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us for as little as $1 per month. All right, guys, there was, and I feel like I say this every week, there was an interesting week of Pacers basketball. There were 2 games this week. First one was Tuesday night, November 14th. Pacers travel to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers for an NBA Cup game, and they win this one, 132-126, after being beaten by the same team. I was going to say on the same floor. It's actually a different floor in the same building. But they had lost to the 76ers a couple of days earlier and took this one. Halliburton had a phenomenal game. And I think there were a lot of news stories after this one. He 33 points, 15 assists, and 0 turnovers. And there were lots of numbers about him with the assists, number of assists, and the 0 turnovers. He had a fantastic game. Obi Toppin had 27 points, and Miles Turner had 17 and was cruising in the fourth quarter. It was able to help seal the deal there. So strong win by the team against one of the best teams in the league, at least record-wise, on their floor in a cup game. So shout out to the team on this one. Joel Embiid, still kind of did what he does, which is dominate. 39 points, 12 rebounds for him, which sounds weird to say. Like, we kind of contained him at 39 and 12, but he's done more on us before, and we extinguished the flamethrower that is Tyrese Maxey, and held him to 27. D'Anthony Melton, 30 points, 22 from Tobias Harris, but 2 from Robert Covington, and I guess outside of that, a total of 6 points from their bench. So we won that battle and the game. So 2-0 in the cup.
Not a Gaussian distribution of scores.
No.
So that was game 1 this week, and they had a big break from that was Tuesday night all the way to Sunday. Pacers back at home and take on the Orlando Magic Sunday, this November 19th, and this game was less great. Pacers down by 40 or so at some point, and started off slow, and it was ugly. It was awful. They basically by the end of the game they cut it to a drubbing. They gave up 42 points in the first quarter, 36 in the second, and they win the fourth quarter 38-21 to cut it to 12. But this game was not in question, really, at any point after the first quarter. I don't know, highlights-wise, the top scorer was Wara off the bench, 19 points. Halliburton, 12 points. There were some highlights of him, or shots of him, like, kind of holding his head in his hands. The Magic aren't great. Paolo had a great game, 24 points, and Wagner, 19 points. Suggs had 18. But I'm not scared of that team, and they mop the floor with us. So an uneven performance from the Pacers this week. They win the most important one. They have a bunch of time off, and then they lose at home to, a team who's not, to me, not that scary. But Harper, what do you take away from this nonsense?
I mean, you should take away very little. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more schizophrenic week of Pacers basketball in our history. I mean, the game against the 76ers was incredible. I mean, it was playoff-level basketball. We're out, Carlisle said, running up to it. They were out there doing rebounding drills and stuff that, coaches hate because that's how guys get injured in practice. But knowing that it's important to hold this team in check, to control the glass. 76ers had some good performances out there, but we played it a very good game of basketball. Tyrese Halliburton was incredible. The supporting staff was there. We're hitting shots. The ball's popping. You do enough on defense. You stay competitive. And you get a really big win. You get a stranglehold on the NBA Cup, a 2-0 in the East. And you beat one of the best teams projected to be a top 3 team in the East and make noise to make it to the finals this year. And with that comes a lot of attention. I mean, the performance that Halliburton put up, there was a lot of talk about how incredible, and rightfully so, what an incredible season he's had so far. It was just a matter of time before it became a national story, and we had a little bit too much time off and turned it around and really just laid an absolute egg. I mean, we gave up the first 11 points at our own house. We were not competitive at any point in this game. It was garbage time in the second quarter. I mean, we had Walker and Shepard out there in the first half of this game. I mean, it was really just an embarrassing effort up and down. They asked Rick Carlisle what happened that we got off to such a slow start, and like a good coach, he said, "I'll take the blame," but I don't really know what that means. Like, I'm not sure what he was supposed to do exactly. But
yeah. So do you think this was a
terrible defensive effort?
A case of the old smoke getting blown up the butt too much, and
I think
they were just full of themselves and
it's
didn't come out with the effort?
Hard not to see that we weren't reading a little bit of our own press clippings on this one. Hard to imagine that's not the case. And look, you're going to be that's a lot of time to have off in the middle of an NBA season, so you're not shocked that there's a little bit of rust, but the level of competitiveness was just, I mean, it was dismal. And we didn't really even start fighting until the fourth quarter when this thing was long since over.
We did have a full court press on the last couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the utility of that was, but might as well try out, the deepest stuff in your bag at that point, because there's not much else to take away from it but some film at that point. And hey, look, the Magic are not a terrible team. They're not. They're 8-5. Paolo Banchero is really, really good. They're one of the better defensive teams in the league. They're not one of the better offensive teams in the league. And we turned them all into, first team All-NBA guys out there. Just let them run by us.
Yeah, we're real good for your highlight reel. If you need an ego boost on that end, we got you. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, it's early in the season, and hopefully this is a good lesson for a young team that has a lot of potential that, this is the NBA. On any given night, any team in the NBA can light you up, So you had best come prepared and, take care of the things that you can take care of. And, sometimes if the ball's not going in, that's fine. That's a loss. But, you can't have situations where you just get out-competed for the vast majority of a half. That's not going to get you anywhere. So, but larger picture, I think you hit it on the head. We won a very impressive game against the Sixers. We're in control of it early, kind of let that lead slip away, and even gave up the lead in the fourth quarter, but we're able to, out execute down the stretch and really make plays and get a good win against a really, really, really good team. I mean, the Sixers are a title contending team, and it was on their floor, and even though we had just played them, and it's hard to beat a team 2 times in a row, especially in the regular season, but yeah,
did it on the road too, which is
for sure.
The early returns on the NBA Cup are pretty darn good. These games have been really competitive. Guys are out there really working. It does feel a little bit like playoff basketball. It's cool so far. Yeah,
and I think I was a little bit hesitant or unsure of what the special courts and all that stuff. But I think it is like a psychological trick on the players. You go out there and the players are just it's something different, and they know that, and it's and it's blaringly obviously it's high contrast differences. Will wake your brain up and let you know that something's different. So yeah, super cool. I unfortunately did not watch any basketball this week, so I don't have anything to add. I will speculate. Thanks for the shows last week. You guys got into a little bit of the obviously you cover the amazing offense that we have, but started getting into a little bit of the defensive deficiencies, and I think that one of those came out in this Orlando game, which is that we put dudes on the line in a ridiculous amount. So I think the Magic went to the line 40 times in this game or something like that. I think we're the most fouling team in the league, which is just something that needs to be fixed big time as we go down the year.
So you're blaming the referees,
Yeah, I am.
or
What is this box score I'm looking at? Hold on.
Yeah, there.
or we're not getting to the hoop enough.
I was looking at quarter one. I was like, they took way more than 9 free throws. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
42 free throws. Gotcha.
Well, it seems like part of the reason that we get ourselves into foul trouble is we do trot out some smaller lineups, and especially against big teams like the Magic. They really are able to expose us. I mean, even our bigs aren't very natural rebounders. And that's where we get ourselves into a lot of that trouble. It's just we just have so much trouble controlling the paint.
Yeah,
And I
we're
don't know what
missing-
the easy fix on that one is.
I don't either, but yeah, we got to get back to some of that smash math
Yeah.
stuff that Vogel was all about. Jalen Smith was back in this game. Okay, that's good to see. I was
Yeah.
going to say we were missing him, but he was back.
He was after going out in the 76ers game. Looked fine in this one. As good as anybody else did, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know if we mentioned this before. I looked it up. There, for the NBA Cup, the prize money, it looks like if you get to the quarterfinals at all, you start getting, players get prize money. So if you lose in the quarterfinals, each player gets $50,000. If you lose in the semifinals, you get $100,000. If you lose in the finals, you get $200K, and if you win the championship, each player gets an extra $500,000.
Whoa, cool. How much money do podcasters get if your team makes it to, say, the semifinals?
It's a multiple of that.
As it should be.
Yeah.
All right, good.
So, Joey, do you just have like whiplash from this week? Is your neck okay?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Because, like, the game against Philly, like, that's the team that I want to see, like, it was their, like, Halliburton, running that offense and looking so good, and Turner producing, and, Toppin hasn't scored like that for us. Doing everything, and that's
he
the
usually
team.
only scores like that against us, so that was nice to see.
And I was just very excited after that, and we come out and like I'm saying, yeah, you're not wrong. Like right now, yeah, the Magic are a fine team. There's nothing wrong with them, but I think we're better than them, and I don't think we should be getting smoked at home by them. Am I out of line here?
No. I mean, our win-loss totals were pretty closely clustered, right? And, Jason's right. That's absolutely the lesson that guys need to take, right? That we haven't won a thing yet, and nothing comes easy in this league. But we got our doors just blown off. We have a propensity to lose big too. I mean, this isn't our first big
Boston
blowout
game.
loss this season,
Yeah.
right? When things aren't going
We
well.
lost by 50.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, the silver lining is we didn't give up 155 in this one, but we did give up 74 or something in the first half. Something outrageous. So,
Yeah.
2 steps forward, 1 step back a little bit. We
That's
did
right.
so many things good in the Philly game, right? As Jason, as you alluded to, it's nice to have that film and have it fresh in your mind. The big thing in that first loss to them was we gave up 23 boards. We cut that down to 5 in the second matchup. Halliburton being aggressive with his shot when the moment called for it. Obviously, he's a willing distributor. Miles Turner stepping up in that fourth quarter, scoring 15. There was so much good in that game. And it's just, when Halliburton is not playing well, we are such a different team. It is
Totally.
unreal the level that he can take us to and how big that deficit becomes when he is not playing super well for us. And it would be nice for the guys behind him to be able to, buoy up that minimum for us a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, because we don't have the star power to go. We need to play as a team. We don't have, we don't have a big three, right? Like,
No,
we can't just rely on
we have a
Halliburton.
one,
But
we have a big one.
Got a big
I mean,
one.
what you would hope
yeah.
to see is over the year that, like, I think this is where Matherin, I think he's not going to get to the level this year. It's only a second year, but long term, I think that's what the role kind of you see him filling is being effective night to night. And then if there's games where, Halliburton doesn't have it, that he can take over the game for stretches at a time and keep the team afloat or, because Halliburton's so good that you just need to keep the game in arm's reach until the last 5 minutes. And then you feel like you've got a puncher's chance every night, with the way that he plays in the clutch, even if he's, having an off night. So, yeah. And I mean, it's tough. Our bench always has an advantage, I feel like. But it's hard when you get down 11-0, and even the bench is having to crawl back from a, high double-digit deficit. It's makes them press a little bit more, I think, and, they can't execute as well, which then spirals.
Yeah. And those Wagner boys for the Magic, this is a weird team. You think of it as a young team, but, Germany won the FIBA Cup, and there was a reason for that. I mean, these guys know
Sure.
know how to ball, and they're big, and they can shoot, and they execute well. And that is the sort of thing that you can take advantage of a young team on times.
For sure, yeah. I mean, and they have Goga, so Goga knows all of our secrets. He was in
Goga.
everybody's head, just bringing up old shit.
Yeah.
And,
Gave a real foul to Miles Turner at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Nice.
thought they might give him a flagrant for that, but he escaped. Yeah, 8 and
He
8 for
played the
him.
classic Goga. I'm innocent. I didn't know what I was
I
doing.
wasn't even there.
All right. Well, the Pacers this week get to do some more stuff in the in-season tournament. 3 games. 2 of them are in-season tournament games. So Tuesday, November 21st at the Atlanta Hawks. Wednesday, back home to host the Toronto Raptors. That is a non-tournament game. And then Friday, close out their group play in the tournament, hosting the Detroit Pistons, who, if I remember correctly, are riding a... What are they riding here? Like a 9-game losing streak or something?
Yeah, they are shockingly bad.
Yeah, they
1, 2,
are
3.
0-10. They've lost 11 straight games.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, they just came. I really thought they were going to be better than they are, but they've won 2 games this year. They're just pathetic.
They are dead last in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right now.
And just for context here, the Hawks are in our conference for the group play. Obviously, they are currently 1-1. And the Pistons, as you might imagine, are 0-3.
Yeah. They've been eliminated. So nobody on that team is getting $50,000. They've been eliminated from advancing. There's a few teams that have been eliminated. Them, the Wizards, the Grizzlies, and the Spurs have all been eliminated. and nobody has clinched moving forward yet. I think with the win on Wednesday, the Pacers sort of position themselves quite well.
We'd have a chokehold on our little division.
That's right.
Yeah, we'd have a chokehold like Gobert's neck, you know? We'd have it. We talk a lot about the Draymond, even though, I don't know, the dude is just, he does what he does, you know?
They were, somebody on, I was listening to No Ducks briefly this week, and I forget who it was, but they were speculating that, he's just doing all these things so that, later in his career when he's takes the Charles Barkley position on the TNT show, they'll always have some highlight, reel to run of him, whenever somebody else does something stupid. Draymond, you never choked a guy, did you? Oh. Roll it.
Whoops.
So this is well, like everything else these days, it's all about content, right?
That's right.
Look at you.
He's playing 5D chess.
Yep. I did like Gobert too. That after there was an interview with him, and he said that he's like, when I heard that Steph wasn't going to play, I pretty much thought he was going to try and get himself ejected. So, not a shock.
Yeah, well, it took him less than 2 minutes.
Maybe this is the new strategy of, getting, you can't sit guys for rest anymore, but go out there, do something stupid in the first 2 minutes, get yourself ejected, and then
Just throw a quick
in this case, I
somebody.
guess he got a lot of extra rest because he got a 5-game suspension, so that's probably not what they were looking for. But
well, there's a finesse to it, you gotta
toe that line.
you gotta choke correctly, to get the day off that you need. We got very excited to see how the Pacers can respond, particularly to this Orlando one. There were a lot of news stories, right, Harper? There were a lot of stories, about the team, and there was discussions. Halliburton is in early discussions as an MVP candidate because he's having that kind of season. It's super early.
After the 76ers game, I was like, we should probably spend the second show talking about, it's just a matter of time before we start getting compared to those Golden State Warriors. And, these guys did us a favor, right? They they brought the bar down considerably. So
Yeah. But it's those are the we get the high highs and the low lows, and I don't want it to be I don't want both ends to come down. I just want the ceiling to go higher, or no, wait, the floor to go higher and the ceiling to go higher.
Exactly. The line goes up.
Don't go down. Right. Just get those W's. All right, team. Well, we'll be back with you on Thursday. Until then, you can find us on the social medias. We're on Twitter at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. TheUndebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. And shout out at TheUndebeatables.com is a good way to email us. And at the website /store is where you can get the merch.
And for the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always, now in the Hall of Fame, head coach, Bobby Slick Leonard, turn out the lights. The party's over.
That's great.
We didn't make predictions. What do you think? 2-1?
Oh, yeah.
We forgot. 3-0. We
3-0?
bounced back.
Like it.
Bounce back quick.
I'll go with Jason on this one. I think they're gonna rebound, and then we'll get Halliburton
I
back
doubt
in the
we're going to
MVP
do
conversation.
that. We almost never do that.
We beat Philly in the rebounding. The game we played them this week.
Yeah, and then we got the floor mopped with us against the Orlando Magic. So go figure.
But we only lost the rebounding battle by 2 to Orlando, so it was basically a tie.
And that court is squeaky clean now, so it's good.
Exactly. Yeah, so much mopping.
Have you guys seen any of this stuff about the NBA Cup courts being slippery?
No. So after the first game that the Pacers hosted, because people were slipping left and right in that game, I kind of did a brief Googling to try to figure out if this was a phenomenon elsewhere, but I didn't see anything.
I think
is that a thing? Is it more prevalent now?
It's like Jaylen Brown slipped on the court, and I don't know if he had to leave, but he definitely had was at least partially injured, or strained or something like that. But he had said it. He said he strained his groin a little bit, but he said the court was slippery all game, and I think that there's other people that have said kind of the same things. So, I don't know.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's anything different about them. I mean, they're I don't know. I mean, they're painted. They have a different.
So much paint.
Yeah, I mean, if the paint's slippery, then I guess but
But you would think that they would seal it with the same thing that they seal.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah.
The other courts with, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not a floor guy. Colson could answer this question for you.
I would assume that they weren't just laying it down right before the game. right.
Right. Well, unless you're the Denver Nuggets that won it. They had to repaint the line.